Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning and hope you're having a great start to your day. We certainly are, and hope you've had your coffee, vitamin C, the real one. And we're looking forward to our time together. We're going to do some question and answer Monday. Andrea, you're number one on the hip parade today. Jude, how are you from Troy, New York? And Madeleine, how are you? From Kippawa. John, how are you? Kathy, Port Perry. John and Karen and Maria from Ottawa. Sylvia, how are you? From Mississippi. Nick from our staff. Deb from Timmins, good morning. And Annette, salut, bonjour, Heather, Miramichi, Donna, Park Hill, Kevin, Oshawa, Jeanette, how are you? And I can't see that. Oh, Linda, sorry, Linda, Marilyn from Edmonton, Nellie, good morning. Wendy from Markham, Jeanette, how are you? Carol, West Virginia. Oh, Carol, if I could sing, I would sing. Rita, how are you? Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. And Milica from Stouffville. Maureen, Boca Raton, Florida. How are you? Angel, Sturgeon Falls. Linda, Grand Falls. Marianne, London, good morning. Len and Judy from Edmonton, Alberta. Yvonne, Petawawa. Laurie, Cambridge. Sandy, good morning. Janice from Brampton. And I couldn't see that. Elaine. And Fran from Orangeville. Yeah, and Fran, you went into the clouds. Rosa. Jean, how are you? Peterborough. Maureen from Penticton, British Columbia. Cheryl, West Virginia. Faye, how are you? And Sue, good morning. The clouds, the clouds, the clouds. Donna, Olga, how are you? And Jeanette from our staff. Sandy and Cecilia, good morning. Sudbury. Couple more guys. Rosalind in the clouds. Lise, I don't know, guys. It gets up there and I don't see it. I mean it. Beverly, sometimes I see it going by, but, oh, there's Sean. How are you, my friend? Laurie and Olga from New Brunswick. Gloria, always in the clouds. Nancy said I missed her. Bonnie, how are you, Bonnie? Gary, Sonny Bolton. And Elaine, saying hello to Donna. Georgie, how are you? And Dale. Guys, I know I missed so many of you. I'm going to say hello to Doc McHugh and Monica. Louise, how are you? And Donna from Newfoundland. Joanne, back in Stuart, Florida. Denise. And Nativity. You look so toasty, Dr. Martin. Do I? Sue. Okay, I'm going to say hello to Doc McHugh, and I'm going to be doing... Doc has invited me, hi Joanne, from Quebec, bonjour, Serpa. Doc McEwen has invited me this morning to speak to her class at the University of Tennessee. And I'm happy to do that again. And guys, I did a teaching, I'm going to try and get a hold of it, to the Conference of Natural Medicine Doctors. So I spoke, I guess about a week ago, and I'm going to try and get that lecture and put it up here on our site, okay? So hi there, Brahim, you're 2 hours late. I just saw his name going by there. Sue, how are you? And Janice. Okay, now, let's get back to these questions, okay? Like my shirt? Hey, like my shirt? Eggs, meat, and cheese. That's always the answer. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay, now let's get to the questions here. This is from Dale. Dr. Martin, have you viewed any reports regarding turbo cancer? I've read many, many reports on turbo cancer. Like, cancer seems to be, look, you know my overarching principle on cancer. We're not winning. Cancer's worse than ever. You know, we've developed some new treatments that, you know, probably are a little bit promising. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, we really haven't made a dent in cancer. And cancer is still killing way too many people. And it seems from the research I've been looking at, and I think they really, I know that it's happening, but I really think the government, I'm hoping, okay, I don't know if this is going to happen or not. I can imagine the pushback. You know, I'm cautiously optimistic on people now looking into everything that happened during the virus, everything that happened. And, you know, at the end of the day, we shut the world down. I was not happy about that. You guys know that. I was preaching that if we would just give everybody and their dog vitamin D, I felt it would be superior to anything else, okay? And I meant it. I was dead serious about it. And it turns out I was right about that. One of the consequences, I think, has been a cancer and taking off, and young people especially getting these turbo cancers, and no fun. I'm hoping that there's going to be like a real commission, honest, looking at all of this. And just so it never happens again. Just so it never happens again. Do I think, you know, it was because of the vaccine and all that? I don't know. I can't be 100% sure, but all I know is that there's a lot of evidence that seems to point at that. But I think we need to look into it, don't you? I think we have to be transparent and have a look and see what happened. What were some of the regulations? What was behind all this and all that? Look at, you know, I know it's controversial, but you guys know me. I have, I never stopped through the whole time of shutting the world down, talking about what I thought would be very, very inexpensive and getting people's immune system built up and taking care of oneself. Okay? And about wearing the real mask, vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin A. Okay. Thank you for the question. And that was Dale, right? Yep. Anna. I think I have silent reflux. Yeah, you and millions of others. I've done the reset and low carb for 4 years. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. Clearing throat and a lot of phlegm. Done a lot of research and came across Dr. Aviv. Okay? I don't know him or her. And he said, okay, it's a him. Eggs and meat and cheese or coffee are high in acidic on the chart and make it worse. Okay, well, here's where I disagree with Dr. Aviv, okay? In all due respect. Coffee, eggs, meat, and cheese, okay, are not acidic, okay, are not acidic. Now, they may be slightly acidic on a chart, but you have to understand, and Anna, I mean this, you have to understand something. Your body has the ability to make foods alkaline. Okay? So, when you have silent reflux, by the way, acid reflux, silent acid reflux, here's what that's caused by. I think it's important to go through all of this because you're asking a very good question, and you're bringing up something that I've been talking about for over 40 years. Okay? And that is why we have so much acid reflux today, whether it is silent or not. The number one reason we have so much acid reflux is not because we're eating eggs, meat, cheese, and drinking coffee. It's not that at all. Okay? As a matter of fact, we're eating less of that than we used to 40 years ago. We're eating less meat. We're eating less eggs. We're eating less cheese than we used to 40 years ago. Okay? Why are we so acidic, our acidic reflux? Because we don't have enough acidity. You guys know this. I talk about this all the time. You use the acidity in your stomach or you lose it. Use it or lose it. Just like your gallbladder. Use your gallbladder, eat fat, and if you don't, you're going to lose your gallbladder. Almost invariably. Why do we have so much acid reflux? Because we don't use our stomach for what it was designed to eat. You know what your stomach was designed to eat? Eggs, meat, and cheese. Not to live on vegetables. Your stomach isn't made for that. I'm not saying you can't have any. I'm just telling you, you don't need a lot of acidity for vegetables. You're not a cow. A cow has 4 stomachs so that they eat grass. Okay? They eat grass, they need 4 stomachs. If you're eating vegetables and fruit and carbohydrates and grains, you don't need a lot of acidity for that. Okay? But your stomach was designed to be more acidic than even a lion's. You need acidity in your stomach. Okay? You got it? You need acidity. We don't use it, we lose it. Then you get acid reflux, because if your stomach and your body is fearfully and wonderfully made, if your body senses that your stomach acidity is not acidic enough, proton pumps start producing more acidity. You know what happens with that? Goes up your esophagus. You can have it belching and indigestion and acid coming up, or you can have the silent type. Okay? You can have the silent type, which Anne here, let me just make sure again. Okay? And it's Anna, not Anne. Okay. Now, okay? So you got to understand that first part before I tell you about the second part. Okay. So let's follow a piece of steak for a minute, okay? And Dr. Aviv says, well, that makes your acidity in your stomach worse. No, he's actually wrong on that, okay? And here's why. Let's follow a piece of steak. You eat steak. Okay? I plan on having a steak for supper tonight. Okay? Now, you eat steak. Let's follow it. Gets into your stomach. It's full of protein and fat, okay? Not carbs, full of protein and fat, exactly designed the way your body is meant to eat. Live on protein and fat, saturated fat, which is very, very good for you. Okay, so here's what happens. Gets into your stomach, and if your stomach is working properly, the way it should, has a lot of acidity in the stomach. And the only place you want to be very acidic is in your stomach. Right there. Okay? To break down that protein and fat. Break it down into amino acids and break that fat down. And then it gets into the small intestine where, okay, your body produces bile and sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Baking soda. To do what? Turn that alkaline. Okay? Once it's been mulched up, okay? You don't want that acidity coming into your small intestine. But your body has bile. It alkalizes your small intestine. Baking soda alkalizes your small intestine. You don't want baking soda in your stomach. You want acidity in your stomach. When steak gets to the small intestine, guess what happens? It becomes more alkaline. Not acidic. Coffee's not acidic. Once it gets to your small intestine, it becomes alkaline. Your body knows exactly what to do. So I push back against Dr. Aviv. I don't know him, but I push back. I understand because I got taught too. Red meat is acidic. Coffee is acidic. Cheese is acidic. That makes it bad. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You have to understand there's no food in the world that has got as many vitamins, minerals, protein, amino acids than a steak. Nothing in the universe has that except a liver. I don't like liver, so I don't talk about it. Okay? There's nothing on the, Anna, nothing on the planet that is better for you. Eggs are not acidic when they get into the small intestine, not even one bit. So the problem is in the stomach, Anna. The problem is in your stomach. And I don't know you, and I don't know, you've been eating good for the last, I don't know, what did you say here? You've been eating good for the last 4 years. Well, continue to do it. But I guarantee you, if you have a silent acid reflux, you weren't eating like that before that. And you changed the acidity in your stomach. Instead of becoming very acidic, your stomach became more alkaline. You didn't want that. Your body wasn't designed for that. And that's why we see people that live on sugar and carbohydrates, they got one of the biggest problems they have is acid reflux, silent or otherwise. And you have no idea, Anna, how many tens of thousands of people over the years that when they changed their diet and they went to eggs, meat, and cheese, not only that, but that's primarily what they were eating, their stomachs got a lot better. You're not meant to live on vegetables and fruit. You're not. You're not meant to live on the plant kingdom. You're not a rabbit. You don't even have cellulase, which is an enzyme that breaks down fruits and vegetables. You don't have it. You don't make it. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have any. I'm not saying that. Okay? I'm not saying that. But that, at the end of the day, has been the biggest issue. It's the biggest issue when it comes to your stomach. And I've been screaming this for a long time because I know biochemistry, and that's how your body works. You weren't given an acidity between 1.5 and 3 for nothing. Think about it. Anyway, I know I get charged up, but I'm glad Anna asked the question. And like I said, I don't know this Dr. Aviv, but he wouldn't be the first, nor will he be the last, to tell people that eggs, meat, and cheese are acidic, and that's what makes it bad. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Your body has an enormous ability to turn foods alkaline once they get past your stomach. You have to understand pH. Because a lot of people make a living telling people about pH, and they don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry. Oh, Dr. Martin, what about cancer? Cancer can't live in an alkaline environment. But your body has the tremendous ability. First of all, your blood, it doesn't allow hardly any change in your body is slightly alkaline when it comes to your blood. And it's only when you get ketoacidosis, when you're dying, that's how a doctor knows pretty well that you're on your way out. You become ketoacidosis. And that's not ketosis, that's ketoacidosis, completely different. Okay, thanks for the question. Much, much appreciated. Madge, why do I feel bunched up socks under my toes? Like, you get that feeling? Well, you got the start, I believe, of neuropathy, Madge. That's what neuropathy is like. And, you know, I one of the things I did in the conference for doctors of natural medicine, I was teaching what happens insulin downstream, okay? Meaning that, okay, so often way before any kind of diagnosis of diabetes, you get signs of insulin resistance downstream. One of them is neuropathy. Now, you can get diabetic neuropathy, and you're already a diabetic, and you get neuropathy, nerve pain. But a lot of people get neuropathy, and they have no idea why they get neuropathy, but that's often because sugar, the first thing that it destroys is blood vessels, and blood vessels feed your nerves. Blood vessels feed your nerves. So when those little capillaries get affected because of sugar, it can have an effect downstream, like in your toes. It can have an effect on your skin. It can have an effect on your liver. It can have an effect on your kidneys. It can have an effect on your brain. Way before diabetes. Way before diabetes. Diabetes is the last thing to happen. Because your body is dedicated to regulating your blood sugar. It's dedicated to it. Your body knows that sugar is toxic. The world doesn't know it, but your body knows it. Your body doesn't trust sugar at all. It won't allow it to stay in your bloodstream. Why? Because it'll destroy your blood vessels. And that's why even downstream people get trouble with their eyes. They have no idea. Well, sugar destroys eyeballs because it destroys the circulation. Sometimes way before the diagnosis of diabetes. People they walk around, they have no idea because, My blood sugar is normal. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing, honey. Okay? Thank you for the question, Madge. Lynn is asking a very, 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 very good question. Okay. Lynn, what are you asking? Is TSH important? Thyroid stimulating hormone. Is it important? Yeah, it's important, but it's important to understand. Again, here's Martin Clinic teaching on the thyroid. I'm going to put it in a nutshell for you. Okay? I'm going to put it in a nutshell for you. TSH I like looking at. And if you buy my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, where is it? Right here. And by the way, it's in its second print. We've sold out. Okay? The good news is it's coming back. Okay? It's in print as we speak. Sun, Steak, and Steel. This is going to make a great Christmas gift. We should have it back in stock very, very soon. Okay? Very, very soon. We sold out, guys, and I thank you for that. Okay? Sun, Steak, and Steel, and Sleep. But in here, I have a chapter on blood tests. I talk about the TSH, and it's just Dr. Martin's 50 years, a little bit less than that, of experience of looking at blood work. Okay? I looked at tens of thousands, more than that, of patients' blood work over the years. And I found a little secret when it comes to your TSH. Okay? It's in the book. It's a little clinical experience. But let me give you a little teaching on the thyroid this morning. Okay? Okay? With bullets. TSH is important, but it's not everything. And why is that? Because the thyroid is a puppet. Is a puppet. Now, okay? Here's what's more important than your TSH. Here's what's more important. Symptoms. Okay? Symptoms. Because you can have slightly elevated TSH numbers. And your doctor will say, well, that's normal. It's still within normal range. But remember, the thyroid numbers are from here to eternity. Okay? I don't rely on numbers, although, like I said, with my experience, I found there's a little secret sauce when it comes to the TSH, and it's almost always true. But it's never true without looking at symptoms. My dad taught me that. If it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, it's a duck. If your thyroid is not functioning properly, you will have the following symptoms. Maybe all of them, some of them do, and maybe some of them. But I always, when you came into my office, okay, you wouldn't see me until you filled out a questionnaire. Okay? And then you'd come into the office and I would observe. I would look. You were in my space. A lady told me that once. She said, Dr. Martin, you're in my space. I said, no, you're in my space. And when I get close to you, because I'm looking at your eyebrows, I'm looking at your hair. I'm looking at your skin. I'm looking at your eyes. I want you to stick out your tongue at me. I'm looking at your tongue. I observe. Oh, doctors, the art of medicine is being lost today. Because they're on their computers and they ain't looking. It bothers me. Anywho, dry skin. Okay? Hair loss. eyebrows, thinning, hair loss. Now, men, who cares? If a man loses hair, who cares? We're from another planet. It don't mean nothing. I had so much hair till I was about 50 and it started thinning out. Jeepers. But women, ladies, never normal. Unless you're 80 and above. It's never normal to have a thinning hair. Your hair is your glory, the Bible says. And that's true. A woman's hair. I used to look. I used to watch. Constipation. How many women cry out, I'm Dr. Martin, I'm constipated? Well, the thyroid has a lot to do with that because the thyroid is your gas pedal. Your thyroid is your metabolism. Even the peristalsis. You know what that is? You got little hairs in your bowel that's moving the feces along. Okay? I hate to gross you out. But even then, they don't move properly and you can get constipated. Okay? Yeah. With the sluggish, I used to call it a sluggish thyroid. It's not diseased. It's sluggish, not working at the rate it should. A loss of appetite for some people, even though they're not eating that much, they have weight gain. They're gaining weight. They look at food and gain weight. They don't even have to eat it. You know how many women that came into my office, I mean it, that had, they were gaining weight and weren't eating, you know, and they're always mad at their husband. He's losing weight. I eat less than him. I told you, men are from another planet, ladies. Don't compare yourself to them. Okay? We got our own issues, but we rarely have thyroid issues. We do get it, but not like you do. Because the thyroid is a puppet and it's connected. It's connected to your ovaries. Men, it's not connected to our testosterone. But you ladies, your thyroid is connected to your ovaries, your estrogen and progesterone, big time. Okay? Loss of appetite, weight gain, brain fog. Even the brain ain't operating properly. Everything's slowing down. Anxiety. Okay? I used to watch for that. Fatigue. Irritated easily. Okay? Those were the symptoms of hypothyroid. Low functioning thyroid. What causes that? Well, like I said, hormones, too much estrogen, not enough progesterone. Okay? Oh, by the way, another one in premenopause, irregular periods. Okay? What causes the thyroid to slow down to a crawl? Let me give you a few. Okay? Remember, the thyroid is a puppet. It's got a lot of strings attached. Number one reason in women is too much estrogen, not enough progesterone. It's an imbalance at the ovary level. And that can happen, by the way, with the birth control pill. Too many women are put on the birth control pill, given estrogen, disrupting that balance between estrogen and progesterone. Okay? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what I saw over the years. Stress. Too much cortisol over a period of time. You know what cortisol does? Cortisol robs your progesterone, ladies. Stress. Over a period of time will slow that thyroid to a crawl. Why? Because your progesterone is down to almost zero And your estrogen, even if you think, oh, I don't have a lot of estrogen. My doctor said I don't have a lot of estrogen. I'm perimenopausal. Yeah, I know that. The only issue is they're not comparing it to the right thing. They're just looking at estrogen levels. That has nothing to do with it on its own. You got to look at estrogen and progesterone. And that'll slow that thyroid to a crawl. So stress was one of the biggest factors. And stress, high levels of cortisol over a period, your body wasn't made for that. Your body wasn't made for high levels of cortisol going on and on and on. Okay? Leaky gut, leaky thyroid. Why do I say that? Because about 20% of your T3, which is the hormone that your thyroid really needs to work properly, is made in the gut. So if you have SIBO, or I like it better to be called SIFO, small intestine fungal overgrowth, you're in trouble. The thyroid will slow down. What if you have fatty liver? Your thyroid will slow down. A lot of women and men, but a lot of women in this area, they have fatty liver and nobody told them. They're carboholics. They like their juices. They like to go, they get their juice in the mall and they're drinking fructose. That goes right to the liver, packs the liver up of fat. You could be skinny as a rake and have fatty liver, That'll slow your thyroid down because T4 to T3, 80% of it is made in the liver. What happens in the liver don't stay in the liver. It ain't Vegas. Got it? Okay. Got it? Okay, and autoimmune. A lot of people have autoimmune. Okay? And when you have autoimmune, first of all, you got leaky gut, but that can slow the thyroid to a crawl. Hashimoto's. Slow the thyroid to a crawl. The thyroid is an important organ, guys, but it don't operate on its own. Got it? Okay. You ain't going to get teaching like that. Because most people don't look at the whole picture. They don't look at the big picture. Unfortunately, in medicine, what's happened today, everybody specializes in medicine. Right? You got to see 20 doctors before you get a real diagnosis. No, but seriously. And they're no good at subclinical. If your numbers are way off, your TSA, you got this or you got that. But they're no good when it's subclinical. Your numbers are still in the normal range. But anyway, I ain't telling you my secret sauce. You got to write my book. Write my book. You got to read my book. Okay. Thank you. You guys are great. Okay, Anna, let me, I want to finish this off. So there's a couple more here. Okay. Anna, can you explain calcium and calculated calcium in blood work? Yep, I can explain it. They measure calcium. Calcium don't belong in your blood. A little bit. It belongs in your bones. What happens if your calcium is too high in your blood? Well, there's things they look at. You could be dehydrated. Okay. The number one reason is you got little glands on the side of your thyroid called your parathyroid. They regulate the amount of calcium that's allowed in your blood. Parathyroid glands, okay? And you could have a disease like Paget's, okay? But calcium is tightly regulated in your blood by your parathyroids. So if you have high calcium, and it's not from eating too much calcium, okay? You don't get that from that, okay? Because in nature, when you eat calcium, Okay? You know where you get a lot of calcium? In eggs, in butter, in cheese, in steak. Eggs, meat, and cheese have a lot of calcium, but always, always surrounded with the vitamin that it needed to take calcium and put it where it belongs, in your bones and in your teeth. Okay? You want calcium, but it should be with vitamin K2. And when people tell you, well, don't eat eggs because cholesterol, and when they tell you don't have butter, you should have margarine, okay? Okay? And they tell you butter's no good because it's acidic. Run, Forrest, run. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't. When someone tells you not to eat steak, they don't know what they're talking about. Because you get calcium plus vitamin K2 right in food. Right? Right in food. And, okay, you could have two low levels for low calcium. You could have low levels of vitamin D. Okay. Thank you very much. Who was that? That was Anna. Sharon. Gonna go fast now. My husband loves to play around with different herbs when cooking. Smart man. He wants to know what the benefits are of having oregano compared to oregano oil. I like the question because it's very smart. Eat oregano. It's very good for you. Oregano is a tremendous spice. The difference is it's like turmeric and curcumin. Curcumin is an extract of turmeric. Is turmeric good for you? You bet your boots. But curcumin is better because it's much more bioavailable. It's very concentrated, and your body, it's supercharged turmeric. Turmeric is good. The oregano is good. Oregano oil is better because it's more bioavailable. It's more concentrated. The way they make oregano oil, if it's done properly, and I've been talking about oregano oil for almost 50 years. A great antibiotic, antiparasitic, antifungal. Nature's. God gave it to us. It is tremendous. Look, oregano is good. The oil is better. Okay? Oregano is good. The oil is a supercharged. Very highly concentrated. Very high bioavailability. Okay? It's so good for you. And it don't kill your good bacteria. Only the bad guys. How do you like that? Okay. Good question. Okay. Sherry has, I want to sing, Sherry. Sherry has H. pylori. What should she do? Well, a lot of people, Sherry, have H. pylori. If it's not bothering you, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I really don't. Because H. pylori, I think I talked about this the other day, H. pylori and the herpes virus, okay? They're very similar in a way. Like, everybody has it, but if it doesn't raise its ugly head, who cares? It lays dormant. So does H. pylori, by the way. Now, that's controversial statement I just made about H. pylori, but I think I'm right about it. If it ain't bothering your stomach, I don't worry about it too much. The best thing for H. pylori is probiotics, oil of oregano, and I got it right here, Ultra Digest. This was made for H. pylori, guys. It was made for that. I mean, it's got all the enzymes and a broad spectrum of enzymes. But I put a few things in there, okay, that like oil of oregano, okay, kills H. pylori. Clove oil kills parasites in H. pylori, okay. Thyme kills H. pylori. And this one is really important. A little bacteria that's on your side called Bacillus subtilis. Bacillus subtilis. It's really good for SIBO. It's really good for H. pylori. Sherry, okay? Crystal, thrombophlebitis, yeah, the inflammation and in the legs, in the veins, in the legs. Yep, Navitol is the best because it elevates nitric oxide. It opens up the blood vessels, and it helps in venous insufficiency. Okay, I would use high DHA too. Lubricate, my dear, lubricate. And Josie asking about blood clots in the lungs and legs. Did I do that the other day? Well, the best thing, Navitol, the best thing, vitamin E, walk, keep moving. The worst thing for blood clots is a lack of motion. That's why people get them on airplanes. You get blood clots, it can go up into your lungs. Traveling, because you're sitting. Get up, move. Pump those legs, especially the calves. One of the things to do for that is a rebounder. I really like rebounders. Really good for that. Okay? And I think I'm done. Maybe a two. You know what? I can tell you what. I'm going to take these two questions. I'm going to take Maria's and Barbara's. I'm making a note. Maria and Barbara's questions. Because I'll talk about it tomorrow when I do some other stuff. Because we're overtime. Okay, Maria and Barbara, I'm going to take your question. We'll do it tomorrow. Okay, guys. Thanks for all the questions, by the way. Send them in. info@martinclinic.com. Okay? info@martinclinic.com. We love you guys dearly and sincerely, and we'll talk to you soon.